Didn't realize how many of my recipes use cornstarch. Why am I scared of cornstarch now? I've had lots of really great Chinese soups. There's hot and sour soup, there's wonton soup, and I love them too, but there's just something special about starting your meal with this one. I keep going back to it. It's always comes at the beginning, and you know other really great dishes are coming after. So it's just a fun soup that I, have grown to love. Hey, I'm Isabel. I'm from Houston, the melting pot of Texas, and I'm here to help you cheat your way through your favorite Asian recipes. And today I'm already feeling super nostalgic. We're talking egg drop soup. So simple. The base of so many really great other soups. You've got like crab and egg, peas and eggs, whatever vegetables you want to throw in there, but we're just talking the base today. And the reason it's so special to me is because my family, I grew up going to a lot of Chinese restaurants with my parents, and since they're gone, it just kind of makes me happy to eat it. Everyone at the table would get their own. No one could share because we'd fight over it, of course. There was never enough. And it was always just a start to like a really great meal. Lots of laughter, lots of fun, so it's a favorite for sure. So let's get started. You probably have a lot of these things in your kitchen already. We're gonna start with a base of chicken stock or chicken broth. We have sesame oil. We have a favorite of mine, I've talked about it before. Check out the videos down below. White pepper. White pepper just brings such a bright floral flavor to the dish, and I feel like that's super characteristic of egg drop soup. We have water, cornstarch to help thicken it up and stick to your bones a little bit, some salt, and of course, eggs. I'm making just a bit today, but if you ever want to adjust this to what you're eating at home, or if you're just feeding yourself, 1 cup of broth to 1 egg. And then you kind of just adjust the spices to taste. So let's warm this up and we'll get started with everything else. And you're really just warming this enough to cook the egg. So maybe like a medium-high heat. We're gonna add everything to it except the eggs. So we're gonna add the sesame oil, a bit of white pepper, and a little pinch of salt. There we go. I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite ingredients, and it's good old MSG. Don't be scared of this. I know there's a lot of stigma behind it. People say, oh, I get sick, or I have a headache or something. No, it's been debunked. I don't believe you. It's naturally derived. It shows up in tomatoes and cheese, which probably explains why I like it so much. It just adds another level of savoriness. So you hear the word umami all the time. So umami is known as the hidden taste of your tongue. You've got your bitter, your sour, your sweet, all the things you're used to. Umami is the name for the savory bit. When you're eating a really good steak, when you're eating like really great cheese, something that just has a little extra oomph, you don't know what it is, it's probably umami. So something as simple as this bag's gonna last me like a really, really long time, just because a little pinch goes a long way. So whenever we would get egg drop soup, everyone souped it up their own way. I put some soy sauce in mine. There was always like a plate of crunchy wonton strips. So if you wanted to throw those in, this would be the time to slice those up and fry them in like some shallow oil, but it's up to you. Okay, oops. Big sis tip. I know a lot of you probably were taught to crack your eggs on the corner of the bowl, corner of the table or something, and then you probably get some shells in there. You're cracking the shell inward. So to avoid those mishaps and having to clean that up later on, just crack it on the table. What did the egg do to you? You don't have to hurt it anymore. And that's it, super simple. There you go, no cleanup. Let's whip this up. I personally like to still have some whites and some yellows, so I don't whip it totally, because I like to, when I'm eating it later on, I like to taste the different flavors and feel the different textures when you actually put that egg ribbon in there. All right, so that's ready. So I'm gonna do our cornstarch slurry. So the reason we're doing cornstarch here is just to help thicken things up. When you get a really good bowl of egg drop soup, it's thick and it's hearty, and it's hard to think that there's just a few ingredients in it, but the cornstarch helps to, level it up even more. There we go. You always want to add cornstarch to cold water or it's not gonna do what you want it to. So that's why I'm mixing it here before I add it to the soup. There we go. And you want to really mix, mix, mix so you get those clumps out. So I'm gonna pour this in so it'll heat up with everything else. Just give it a little mix. Okay, I'm gonna cover this and let it warm up a little more. While we're waiting for that to happen, take your green onion, and today we're gonna use both the white part and the green part. So the white part is a little heartier, gives you more of that like onion forward flavor, and then the green part we'll use for a little decoration later on. And you can actually jazz it up with a couple of things. Sometimes at home I like to add some grated ginger. You can put a little garlic in there, but I think traditionally Chinese egg drop soup is supposed to be very like mellow, but I mean, do what you want at home. No one's gonna judge you. All right, so I'm gonna dice the rest of this up for later. People make fun of the little sprinkle of green onion on top of a lot of, Chinese and Asian dishes, but it's iconic. You kind of need to have it. And now we just wait for it to warm up. I was talking about how egg drop soup is super nostalgic to me. I think it kind of transcends a lot of different cultures too, because I've been to different Asian weddings, Vietnamese, Chinese, and it always starts with this like big pot of egg-based soup. So it's just the beginning of so many like happy memories and happy things. And it was a rough year. A rough year for everybody. So I think that a little bit of comfort, something you can put together in 10 minutes, like why not add that to the beginning of your meal? All right, is it ready? Are you ready? We're getting somewhere. I just want to see a couple of bubbles. And then once it starts to simmer, you don't want a hard boil. If you put the eggs in it when it's too hot and too intense, it's just gonna cook and seize up right away. You want it to kind of gently cook as you're stirring it. That characteristic color of egg drop soup is a really, really deep yellow. I find just using eggs, you don't always get that. If you want it to be a little bit more yellow, you can add some turmeric in the beginning too. It doesn't change the flavor, but if you eat with your eyes first, you can just add a little sprinkle of that and it just makes it even more brighter. Okay, yes, we're there. Why is it so foamy? I want some of that foam gone so y'all can see it. All right, now the fun part. So you want to stir it. I like to go kind of in between, not too slow, not too fast. And then you're gonna have a steady stream of egg. Here we go. And there it is. You see those ribbons forming? Oh, it's so cool. This is my favorite part. Don't go too fast. You want to be able to have a ton of ribbons so everyone you're serving gets a little bit of egg. Boom. My favorite part is though when you see the egg kind of bloom in the soup. It's called an egg flower. There's a Chinese word for it. I'm not gonna attempt it, but if you're stirring fast, then you get really small flowers. And then if you're stirring slowly, you get really big ones. So you get to kind of customize it to what you want. And it's done. There we go, let's serve it up. So since I'm just cooking for myself today, I get to have a big bowl of soup. Look at that. Got lots of pretty ribbons. You can add a little bit of soy sauce if you want. I kind of like how delicate it is. My favorite part though, I'm actually gonna put a little bit more sesame oil on top. It's like each bite with sesame oil is just a little extra special. And then, of course, some green onion on top. And that's it. Okay, let's try this. Get some ribbons in there. Look at that. Oh, so good. Just like I remember, maybe even better because of that extra white pepper. I can't stop talking about it. I'm gonna say that all over again. It's so good, so nostalgic, so comforting, and it took 10 minutes. So like and subscribe for more Asian hacks and cheats, and here's your comforting, nostalgic egg drop soup.